1, 2, 3. All right, let's go.
Okay.
The podcast professionals with Kristy and Ash.
Episode 1.
Hey, g'day, Ash. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, excellent. After a little bit of a IT hiccup there, but hey, we are on.
Absolutely. I actually am a bit nervous, very excited.
Are you? You don't sound nervous. You don't look nervous.
Yeah. Do you know what? People never believe me when I say I'm nervous, and also that I was a very shy child.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See?
Oh, there you go. Just learnt something new. Oh, look, there we go. Now I've got you on 2 screens. Oh, look at us go. Well, here we are. Episode number 1, the podcast professionals with Kristy and Ash. Didn't think this was ever going to happen, but hey.
No. And like extra appreciation to Nicola, who actually said in one of the Swinburne Professional Staff Network committee meetings, why don't you do a podcast? And we both just went and perked right up, and it was very exciting.
Yeah. All right, so everything's happening, Ash. We're recording. I've got the timer on, so totally organised. I've got a pen and paper because I am such a professional.
That is fantastic.
So anyway, let's do a little bit of an intro. What is the Swinburne Professional Staff Network? Who are they? What do they do?
So the Professional Staff Network is I nearly did HR voice, but I go into a long-winded explanation.
All right, I've got the timer on, FYI.
Right. It is a network of professional staff across the university sharing resources, training, information and collaborating to be more connected and for our own individual development and as a team and as a whole cohort of professional staff across Swinburne, championed by Nicola Howard and run by a very amazing group of committee members who donate their time to furthering the network of professional staff across the university and that collaboration. I think it was actually started several years ago by the faculty directors from memory. I remember Janie, who is the business and director, being in the very early days part of the inception of the Swinburne Professional Staff Network.
Okay. So who's this, like who are we aiming this podcast at? And so who is it for? Obviously it's for professional staff, but obviously anyone can listen in.
I mean, we are so fun to listen to. I don't know who wouldn't want to listen to us, really. However, I think generally it's for professional staff at Swinburne. So we'll talk through things that are happening, and sometimes it's relevant to everyone at Swinburne. Sometimes it's going to be relevant to all professional staff across higher ed in Australia, and sometimes it's just going to be for our professional staff group.
Cool.
Share stories and...
Yep. Oh, all about that. I've always got a story to tell anyone that knows me. I've always got something to bang on about. So, Ash, why don't we just start off by maybe you introduce yourself and who you are, what you do, and then I'll introduce myself, and then we can get on to talking about mail merging and printing of labels.
Right. Well, I'm so anti-printing.
That's me being really funny, FYI.
I like it. It was funny. I laughed.
Who are you, Ash? Who are you?
Well, it depends on the day. No, my job is manager for the academic support services team in the business and law cluster. What do? I work with our teams across research support, academic department support, as well as events and engagement across our sessional staff cohort and staff services. And basically we work to solve problems or sort of translate the information from what actually happens in the delivery done by the academics, delivering research and teaching, and what our central colleagues need to complete the administration of that work. So we're really a translating team.
Okay.
And sort of connecting different parts of Swinburne, which is probably why I'm quite passionate about things like the Professional Staff Network, because it is about connecting things and about people. And we also provide customer service to those areas, so to our academics and to our professional central owning area colleagues. So that's sort of academic support services. What about you? Tell us about your work.
You're a bit of a connector, a bit like myself. Well, I've been at Swinburne for about just over 3 years now, and previously in another life was at Monash, and a bunch of us came from Monash to Swinburne 3 years ago and started up the Customer Experience and Insights Research Group. And it's a great, in the Faculty of Business and Law, which is now the cluster of Swinburne Business School cluster. I'll get it a bit confused. Anywho, yeah. So market research in customer experience and doing industry research, which also we ran events based loosely on customer experience, user experience, and also workshops and events. We also made it our business to kind of get into Swinburne and figure out who's who in the zoo and try and connect with a lot of people. So I felt like was one of my roles was to kind of, infiltrate around the university and get involved with Swinburne Professional, the alumni, Melbourne Design Factory, and partnerships and collaboration. I know a couple of these names have changed, but so that's basically what I do. So I'm working on executive education at the minute. I'm also doing a couple of days with the Australian Leadership Index, which is awesome, and got a few interesting things happening at the minute. So I've got stacks on, and when this came up as an option, I was like, yep, I've been doing all the Adobe training and put my hand up to do the podcast. So, and it was a really good way to get to know you a little bit better too, Ash. So I think it was all good.
All the love.
So how's your IT going there? You got your headphones on, we can see each other, it's all happening.
I have headphones that I successfully plugged in, not going to actually admit in a recorded session how long that took to plug in a set of headphones, but it happened and we got there.
Same here. All right. We're going to stop this now because we're just about to call in Nicola, so I'm just going to press stop.
So for our first episode, our first guest, very appropriately, is our SPSN Committee Chair, Nicola Howard, who is going to talk to us a little bit about her journey at Swinburne so far, and is actually having her first day back on campus. I didn't swear just then. I'm very proud of myself.
I could see it. I could see it coming.
That took a lot of energy, but I didn't swear. This is exciting. Nicola, please start talking before I put my foot further in my mouth.
Oh, dear. Okay, thank you. And congratulations on starting the first episode. It's very exciting.
Thank you. Woohoo.
I guess I'm, it's very good. I'm very happy to be your first guest. And I think if you'd asked me when we were further into the session, I probably would have been less reluctant, but given it's the first one and I was heavily promoting, I felt that I needed to say yes. So well done in getting me here on my first day on campus.
Thank you for being here and sucked in. Yeah.
So I guess, 10 years just clicked over in March at Swinburne, very different roles, starting off in a faculty, which I think is probably really good grounding for a lot of professional staff to have that, when we were decentralised, really understanding the whole student life cycle, then moving into more of a project role when we went into using a new student management system for Student One, and so working in a lot of business readiness and consultation, and where I sort of found my joy for change management and business improvement, and then now working within the service delivery team in the student administration and library services team, again, being the business improvement manager. So really finding my niche now, and even though being at the same place for 10 years, I was at Monash previously for just under 10 years.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and again, in a faculty situation. So I guess I've always found working in a university has been a great place to be able to move around and find opportunities, as well as having that large availability of people that understand what you're going through. So it doesn't matter what type of work you're doing in the university, you still feel connected because we're all here for the same purpose. So I found that that's always been something that's connected me with other people. And then obviously that passion then turned into the professional staff network and really trying to champion that, understanding that, you know, the academic staff had a network and had already established the SWAN network, and there was already things in place to support academics, and they were already collaborating and working across different faculties, etc. But there was nothing really in place for professional staff. So I feel now, a few years down the track, that we've really got something special, and to the point of I'd had done a paper for one of the ATM conferences where we presented what Professional Staff Network was about at Swinburne, and so many different people, including colleagues from University in New Zealand, wanted me to send the information, and they were going to try and establish the same at their universities. So that's been quite good.
How long ago was that paper, Nicola?
So I guess when we started in 2015. So I'm thinking it was around 2018 I would have presented.
Yeah.
And I guess we've what's been good about this, and I guess that's come from my business improvement, everything's about iteration and trying new things and, you know, just bringing people along on the journey, that it hasn't stayed the same. And, you know, and this podcast is a massive example of that. It's just, you know, what can we do that's different? What is it that we, you know, we've embraced Yammer community. You know, we're saying, no, we've had to fill the gaps that we didn't have at the university. So a lot of the things that we had before, and we've created the wiki space, was because we didn't have anything. And so now, you know, that we've got these things with the university that are supporting us, it's been amazing to go through and have that with the committee and say, okay, well, what is it that we were doing that we no longer have to do, and how can we best use what's being provided by the university and the people and their skill sets? So, and, you know, coming up with the podcast was brilliant by the two of you, because it meant that, well, this isn't something that we're already doing. This is something new and innovative.
Yeah.
And it's about connection, which is brilliant, because that's what the connection is our theme for 2021. And I think just trying to, even coming onto campus this morning for the first time, I'm in a new building.
Yeah.
We've moved from SBS now to level 7 of the library. So the lift is still getting replaced, and so that's not going to be done, I think, until the end of April. So I forgot that you could get the lift from the ground level up to level 5 and then just walk up 2 flights of stairs. So I walked up from the second level all the way up to level 7, and so I nearly needed a nap before I started work this morning, because I had all my stuff, all my technology with me in my bag.
What was the did you forget anything as you're unpacking and setting up for the day? Did you forget anything at home?
Luckily it was just small things like my water bottle, you know, that type of thing. But, you know, I brought probably too much in because I wasn't sure what I'd been eating today. And we're lucky enough, we're going to be doing 2 days in a row. So I don't have to, you know, pack up and take home and then bring back. I can leave some things at work.
Okay, so are you actually, Ash, are you actually sharing a desk, Nicola?
Yeah, so we've set up with the Student Admin and Library Services, we've set up desk buddies. So our area we share with the admissions team. Okay. And so we're in on a Monday and a Tuesday, and they'll be in on a Thursday and Friday. And then we've got that flexible day on a Wednesday where either of us could pop in and use it as a hot desk. And I'm also in a role where I'll be facilitating workshops and coming in to meetings and things. So I'll be able to find spots that are available in that time. And even in SBS, where we used to be, some of the other teams are still located there, and they've got some spaces available. So it's just a matter of trying to plan ahead and understand, you know, what
be really organised. Yeah, be really organised. I've just recently shifted desk. I had and took the opportunity to have a massive clean out. I reorganised my desk in a different way that I wouldn't normally work. But I'm really loving the new desk where I am. This, by the way, this isn't my new desk, Nicola and Ash. This is a meeting room.
Yeah, I'm in a meeting room too.
I'm trying to figure out which meeting room that is. I figure, Nicola, you're in one in...
I'm in the library, level 7 of the library. It's not Teams able. And so I guess that, brings us to that hybrid discussion. We're not quite sure. We've got a stand-up meeting at 1:00 today. We've got, I think, 3 members of the team are at home, working from home for various reasons, some technological, some other. And we've got, there's 5 of us in the office today. And so we're just going to have to trial it and just try different things.
Yeah.
We're lucky enough, we work in Agile. And we have stand-ups and everything's virtual. We have a Kanban board is in Trello, so we're able to do that. We're very lucky. But as far as that communicating and having half here and half at home, or even if it's just one person at home, I'm just really mindful of being inclusive and so that the discussion isn't always just with the face-to-face people, that we have a way of, positioning a laptop so that the video is on and so people can see each other and the sound is good. And so we just got to work through those things.
Yeah, it's really important. And I think something we sort of noticed because of COVID and having to work from home, but it's also even just in timing and scheduling of things, we're really able to make more things more accessible. Yep. So not even from a remote and work balance perspective, but just from an inclusion piece, I feel like we would never want to completely go backwards anyway. So that's sort of been trial and error for that. But I think it's really, I don't know, it's something that I quite liked about COVID, about the not COVID or being forced into ISO or work from home or homeschooling for those trainers that were trying to work and parent and educate all at once. But just
so hard.
The inclusivity.
Agree.
Yeah, so and having to build new skills.
That's exactly right.
Had to learn how to use Miro, the online facilitation tool. So having people being able to log on and everything and being able to use their virtual Post-it notes, and it was a whole new way of working for me.
Yeah.
And
Miro's good.
And I had to learn, when to allow silence because it was online. So, trying to read a virtual room, all of these new skills. And so I can bring that with me now that we have hybrid, but it's going to be a whole new ball game with, as I said, some people within a room and some people not in the room. But, we've had this issue with people working at different campuses. We've had to do this prior because, if you've got a 1-hour meeting, you can't really afford the travel time to come from Wantirna and Croydon. And so I think we're really getting an understanding of what it's been like for our colleagues that have worked in the outer campuses. So I agree with you, Ash. I think it's been a really good discovery of how to have to make things accessible and be inclusive.
Absolutely.
Agree. I've got to learn not to talk over the top of people. I love doing that. It's a skill of mine.
Really hard. Because in a room, like you see people getting ready to talk, and it's easier to sort of
take the cues.
But it's like not so simple. I do have a tip for hybrid working. If you set up a Zoom meeting in a meeting room, so we've got in AGC on level 3, there's the boardroom. You can set it up, but if you press the Zoom when you're setting up Zoom, that mutes all the participants on entry.
Okay.
As we discovered for one of our school executive committees, that mutes the whole room. So no one in the room can actually talk to anyone who's logged in remotely. So there's a top tip for hybrid working. If you are setting up a Zoom that's going to be on campus and not, do not press the courtesy mute all participants on entry. It will, in fact, turn off the entire audio for the room.
Hey, just cognizant of time, Before we wrap up our convo, I wanted to talk to Nicola about your superpower skill, and that is your amazing creative work of your freehand drawing, and you've designed our Swinburne Professional podcast logo, avatars. I mean, sorry, my head is like this big at the minute. Loving it when you came up with the
it's like your avatar.
No, actually, no, like doing a happy dance. Seriously, how did you learn you had this amazing skill?
I guess I've always been creative. I did a Bachelor of Education in Visual Arts, so I actually trained to be a secondary art teacher, and I just didn't go into it. And so that's always been in the back of my mind. But I guess I started doing graphic recording and taking visual notes a long time ago, because that's just a better way for me to learn. And so I'm able to translate information easier if it's visual.
Amazing.
And so the graphic recording part I would suggest for everybody, because it's not really about the drawing. I mean, the end result, if you're sharing it, obviously it's nice if it looks good. But if it's just for yourself, I would encourage people to do it, because interpreting other people's information and being able to really listen is really a superpower. And that helps me in everything that I do. I'd say I'm a really good listener, because I take notes in that way. And then being able to choose the information, if I'm then sharing that with others, what was the important point? And so it's that interpretation of information, and how do you then communicate to others? I guess I see that as the real strength. And the drawing, yeah, it's good when it comes out and it looks good, and people enjoy it. But I guess it's when they say, oh, I'd forgotten about that. That's good. That was a good point, actually. And so it's like having a time capsule. So, 3 months down the track, if you're looking for the notes of a meeting that you've gone to, or a conference or something, you look at that. And if that then gives you, a spark of, oh, yeah, I forgot about that, and I've got all the main concepts covered, then that makes me feel better when people say, oh, yeah, that's good, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really excellent. Absolutely love it. And I've been in a workshop where you've been drawing live real time back in the olden days. Yes. When we had like a whole range of people. It was John Hopwood. Yes. One that we did over in the other building over there. Can't remember its name. Anyway.
Yeah. When I started drawing live, that was a little scary. But, I tell people to step out of your comfort zone and do things that make you uncomfortable. It's the only way that you're going to grow. And so then you have to practice what you preach, don't you? So the last couple of years, I've really pushed myself out of my comfort zone and, drawing live rather than listening to a recording and doing it, because you can always pause. So I thought, okay, what's next? All right, I'll need to do it live. And so
pressure's really on.
Yeah, just pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And that, I guess, is another trick to, if you're in the same organisation for a long period of time, well, what can you do within your role that's really going to push you and learn a new skill?
That's it. Just like this, what we're doing here. Hey?
Yeah, being interviewed.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being our inaugural VIP special guest for the podcast professionals, Kristy and Ash. It's been great chatting to you, Nicola. Thank you so much. And for your support and encouragement, because we're right out of our comfort zone right now, even though it's like three girlfriends chatting. But
you've done very well. And I'm really, just like I said, we're advocating for other people, and so we're practicing what we preach, and, I can't be more proud.
Thank you. That's really sweet. All right. You are hilarious. All right, let's go for the wrap up. Are you ready?
Okay, we're wrapping.
All right. So this is going to be our wrap up meeting, okay?
Excellent.
I feel like this was our first podcast. There's a few little bumps, mainly getting into Zoom. I had an absolute brain fade. All right, how do I get into Zoom? Sorry about all that. But
don't be.
What do you reckon?
In my headphones, honestly. So that's fun. if you don't toot your own horn, who's going to? So I'm going to say I think we were basically brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether that joke goes down well with everyone, you guys. So that's what I suppose we want everyone to tell us on Yammer and through the wiki. If people want to tell us what they thought, if everyone is going to be on our cheerleading train, or if actually there's a range of suggestions that you might want to give us, we're open to those as well.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Yeah, and we'll definitely be posting onto Yammer and the Swinburne Professional Network. We'll
absolutely. And LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah, LinkedIn. Oh, most definitely. Yeah, that's my go-to social media, LinkedIn.
So, and I think you've got some outstanding guests lined up for the next few podcasts. But if there's anything that, as professional staff at Swinburne, you want to know, you want us to interview, or you want us to answer, or you want us to question, put it up on the wiki, put it up on the Yammer. We can get this trending. We know how to technology. We can social media.
We're all over it. And I think we can get the conversation rolling on the Yammer and, really encourage people to kind of jump in, throw up some suggestions, and I've got a whole range of them up my sleeve, but definitely want to start by saying our next podcast will be, we don't know when, but it'll be soonish. And we've got some really awesome VIP guests. So stay tuned for that.
So excited.
Yeah. So, all right, Ash, over and out for now. And well done on our first podcast.
Yeah.
We did it. All right, now, where do I stop?
Okay.
Where's
I have no idea.
button? It's up here somewhere. Here we go. All right.
Okay.
Signing
Good
off
work.
for now. Arrivederci.